Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening to everybody, man. I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Conversation 980, and I appreciate you guys more than what you know. Happy to be back. Another day, another episode, another week, and 2023 is almost gone. I mean, we sit down and we don't really think about it a lot, but hey, this year has went on by, and uh, I'm looking forward to 20. I'm looking forward to 2024. And that's all I can really say about it. I'm excited about that. Very excited about it. About the opportunity for a new beginning. Now a new year too. I don't take, I understand life is precious, so I don't take life for granted, and that's something that I look forward to just embracing. And what's going to be new? What's going to be the next chapter? What's going to be the new thing? What's the new challenge or the new lessons learned? Even embracing the hardships, I can truly say I understand now and completely understand when the Bible said, "Count it all joy when you face various trials and tribulations." So not that I look forward to hard times, but I also look forward to the lessons learned in those times and what they end up being for me. So with that, man, I look forward to tonight. Look forward to the conversation, and hopefully it can be helpful to you or to anybody. But just make sure y'all share this and just jump on in, and we'll get right on to it. But again, man, thank everybody. I really do appreciate it. Um, but with that being said, man, we about to go ahead on and get right on to it. But the night topic is one that I thought about for a while. And I think that it's going to be, I felt like it was necessary to have that discussion today. But tonight episode is just really be careful not to lose yourself being there for and fulfilling roles for other people. And I know that's something that it can be hard. Why? Because one of the most dangerous things is, we can get so caught up in being there or fulfilling a role for people and doing things for people that we lose ourselves. We lose a sight of a sense of self in fulfilling those roles. And because we lose a sight or a sense of self in fulfilling those roles, it can really be hard. It can really be hard in that because we begin to put so much of ourselves into being there for other people, being there um, uh, and being consistent for other people. Where even in that moment, even in those times, even in the things that we do, we don't realize that we lose ourselves each and every day, and it's dangerous to get into that space when you lose yourself being there for other people because you will never get what you think you were gonna get from it. You're never going to get what you think you're going to get from it, right? I'm not telling you, this is not me telling you, this is not me saying, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am talking about is being cognitive of not losing yourself, losing who you are, right? Losing what you stand for. Um, why is that? It's easy for us to lose ourselves being there for other people, especially like you fulfill those roles, and it may be something that you was excited about, something you look forward to, right? Something you even dreamed about. It's easy. We can lose ourselves in different roles. We can lose ourselves being a provider. As a man, hey, I'm going to work, I'm providing. So you can lose yourself in that. And what happens is when we find ourselves losing ourselves in those roles, right? We really, even though we're operating on autopilot, we're not really doing the things that we need to do. We begin to that begin to become a hindrance instead of what the main purpose supposed to be. So, for example, if I got a job and I lose myself in my job because I'm focused on being able to provide for my family, but I also, by losing myself in that job, I end up neglecting the same family that I'm providing for, which in turn is counterproductive and it does you no good. So that's a danger in it. That's the danger in that, right? And we can say that in so many different things. And I think if we take inventory of our life, a lot of us will realize that it's a danger with that. It is a danger in getting to that space and getting to that place, right? Where we lose ourselves fulfilling roles. And I know it may be hard and difficult, and I know it's something that many of us may not even talk about, but uh, one thing people do is many people lose themselves in relationships They lose themselves in marriages because they become so focused and so narrow-minded on fulfilling that role. They embody those roles, but then they lose a sense of themselves. And I'm not telling you to be selfish, but I'm also telling you to be cognitive of not losing yourself, fulfilling the role. That you being a husband doesn't define who you are. It's a part of who you are, but it doesn't define who you are. You being a wife doesn't define who you are. It's a part of who you are, but it doesn't define who you are. Being a parent doesn't define who you are. And a lot of times we lose ourselves because we allow the roles and the things that we do for others to begin to define us and to begin to be our sense of purpose. And they never was designed to be our sense of purpose. It's a part of who you are, but it doesn't define who you are. And I know that's hard for some people. I know that's hard. How you gonna tell me? No, I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you straight up, right? Because a lot of the things that we think that we are doing that are effective may not even be effective, and that's something that we really need to look at. Something we really need to look at. Because I realized many times in my life where I had to pull myself out of a role that I play. And I know somebody who served in the military majority of my adult life. I know a lot of peers and I've read a lot of things about people who struggle with the transition out of the military. And the reason why is because they lost themselves in what they did. They lost themselves in the rank that they had. They lost themselves in the role. And a lot of them may feel like they don't have any purpose outside of that. But the reality is it's not that you lost yourself into a role, but that role doesn't define who you are. And the definition of who you are is really who you are as a person. And we have to be deliberate about always taking inventory to know or to find out who we are as a person, because it's an ongoing and a life-changing thing, right? It's ongoing. It's never just going to stop. It's never just going to stop. And I don't know why some people try to act like it is, but it will never stop. You would never stop growing, learning, and changing as a person. If you do, you are imprisoning yourself to the present or to the past, right? But if you at life, you would never be the same person. I'm telling you, I'm not the same person I was last year. As we get ready to go into the new year, I'm not the same person that came into last year. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So that's why I said, like, we get caught up in trying to fulfill roles for other people, but we still trying to fulfill roles for people who change. That's why we having conflict in a lot of our relationships. That's why we having conflict in a lot of the things and in a lot of areas in our lives, because we're refusing to accept that the role that we was covering, we're trying to fill a role for somebody who ain't even the same person. They got different interests, they got different likes, they got different needs. But we didn't got so caught up with fulfilling that role that we lost ourselves. And it's a danger to lose yourself. It is such a danger to lose yourself. It is a danger to lose yourself. That's why I said be careful not to lose yourself being there for and fulfilling roles for other people. That's a dangerous spot. That's a spot that I think many don't want to address. But one of the things is there's a lot of us that try to heal ourselves by doing things or fulfilling the roles of other people. And the reality is that's not going to do it. And that's why a lot of us, we get angry, we get frustrated, because we're expecting people to do, or we're expecting what we do for others to fill a void that we got on the inside. And that's never going to happen. It doesn't matter how much you put into it. It doesn't matter how much you pour into other people. And a lot of people are disappointed and they're heartbroken because, oh, I did all this and I went all this and I was this, that for that person and that person. At the same time, you never sat down and looked or did an assessment on how, who is that person to you? Is that person giving you the same energy? Is that person valuing you the same way? No, you just lost yourself in doing for them, and then now you mad at them because guess what? You never held them accountable for them being there for you. That's on you. That's not on anybody else. And we have to take inventory. We have to learn to take inventory on it. We have to learn to take inventory. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. But we have to learn to take inventory on it, because that's something that I think that many of us struggle with, because it's something that we don't really, this is something that I don't even recall people talking about. I don't recall people talking about out open, especially growing up in different circles. I don't recall us talking about these type of things, with my family. And these are some lessons learned. That's why I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind talking about it. Not saying I'm an expert on it, but I'm speaking on things because guess what? I've been down that road. I've been down that road, and that road is something that we need to make sure that we don't travel down as much. But when you lose yourself, a lot of us, we lose ourselves because we forget that we start to feel like being selfless should be prioritized, right? But self-care is not being selfish. I can't pour into somebody else when my cup is empty. I have to monitor my cup. I have to make sure that I'm good, right? And many times what we do is we pour out so much of ourselves, and we pour into so many others that we don't even have a routine, or we don't even have a system set up for us to be replenished. And we wonder why we burnt out. We wonder why we're wounded. We wonder why we're irritated. We wonder why those relationships aren't giving back to us. It may just be you pouring too much into other people, and you're not prioritizing refilling yourself. You're not prioritizing refilling yourself. And, like it or not, that really falls on you. That really falls on you. How you doing, mama? How you doing? How you doing? Love you. Love you. But that really falls on you. And then this is the other thing, man. Like one thing, many people forget that they prioritize certain roles over other roles that they shouldn't. And I know this is going to upset some people, but it is what it is, right? Many people lose themselves, and I'm just speaking on a relationship of a marriage. You have some people that will lose themselves fulfilling the role as a parent while neglecting them fulfilling the role as a spouse, and thinking that is okay. Oh, my kids come first, and they lose themselves, fully engulf themselves in everything with the kid. And then when the kid leaves, guess what happened? The marriage is over, because the marriage was over before. You never even focus or prioritize the marriage. You just focus on the kids because it was so easy for you to do that because you was getting something out of it, while at the same point you was neglecting the other roles and having your priorities in the wrong place. You enjoyed the benefits of being married, but you didn't understand or embrace the priorities of being married. And I know that's a hard pill for some people to swallow, because, how you going to tell me about my babies? No, your babies are your babies. They're going to grow and live their own life. They're going to go and make their own life. They're going to move on, right? But you the ones that messed it up. Mama said, self-care is not selfish. It is preparing to continue to do what you should do. Too often we give, but you are giving more than you were supposed to give. How you going to tell me about my baby? Yeah, you're giving more than you're supposed to give, and that's something that I think that's frustrating to a lot of people, but it's a reality. It is a reality, right? And one of those reality is you are responsible. You are the person responsible for what you give to others, right? And many times we overgive as a way of feeling like overgive in a way to compensate for what we're lacking. But we are responsible for that. And we got to get to a space to say, because the reality is there are people that will take advantage of your willing to give, because they benefited from it. They don't really care about what you're going through. They don't really care about you as a person. They just care about the fact that they're benefited from it, right? And do you really follow them? Yeah, I mean, some people should be like, but those people don't really care. Only thing they want is they're there where they can benefit from, and they'll move on. And a lot of people would do you like that. But don't lose yourself trying to give to other people, because you always will be disappointed. Because them same people you think they're going to be there for you, a lot of times they would not reciprocate that energy. They would not. They would not be there for you when you think they should have. They would not. Those same people would disappoint you, right? But I mean, and this is one of the things that I think a lot of people need to really think about, right? When you lose yourself being there for and fulfilling roles for other people, right? When you just lose yourself and you just become on autopilot and you don't pull back, you need to ask yourself, right? Are you even being appreciated for what you are giving up of yourself to be there for other people? Are you even being appreciated? Are the things and the sacrifices that you're making even being valued? Because a lot of times the people that we doing those things and we lose ourselves for, right, don't even value what we're doing. And it is up to you to take inventory of that. And not only take inventory of that, it's up to you to you control what you're giving to people. Stop giving them people access to you. When you start to realize and you sit down and you take inventory and you realize them same folks ain't give two flips about you, but they still benefiting from you, and they ain't gonna say nothing. But that's on you, because you gave it to them. That's on you. You gave it to them. You gotten comfortable with that, right? And and I think yeah, a lot of us find ourselves frustrated and irritated with certain situations and circumstances in our lives that are 100% our fault. That we refuse to see red flags. We refuse to stop doing certain things. We refuse to give people stop the access that we gave to people because we got a kick out of fulfilling certain roles. And a lot of the times we lose ourselves fulfilling roles, being there for and fulfilling roles for other people, because we're expecting the external validation from other people to champion us and cheer us on for the roles that we fulfill. No, we expect other people to say, "Oh man, good. Oh, he a great husband. He a great father. She a great wife. She a great mother." You look for all that external validation, but at the same time, you got internal turmoil because you haven't taken the time to just pump your brakes, right, and do inventory to make sure that all of the efforts are even worth it. All of your efforts are even worth it. Mama said, giving more than you should and giving unappreciative individual is killing yourself. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Miss Geraldine, how you doing, Miss Geraldine? So true. It hurts when they really let you down. Yes, it does. It hurts when they really let you down. It hurts when those people let you down. But the reality is we got to stop putting ourselves in those situations to be hurt. But I just want people to really be cognitive, right? That when you talking about losing yourself for other people, and really it is so important to take inventory of who we are, where we are, what's going on in our lives, right? And continue to do a reassessment and stop living off old assessments, because many of us are living off old assessment of doing things for people, and we lose ourselves doing things for people that don't even need what we feel like that we should give them, because we're going off of old information. We're going off of stuff that was from years ago, and we didn't even take the time to even update. We didn't even take the time to update the data, and we thinking we going all out and doing all of this stuff for people, and they don't even need that from us because they're not even the same person. And now you feeling like you done went all in, but at the same point, those people like you doing stuff that you're not even needing to do, because that's not what I need from you right now. That's not what I need from you. That's not what I need from you. That's not what I'm asking you, right? It is so important. It is so important for us to make sure that we know who we are and be accountable for who we are, right? But also don't lose ourselves being there for others, and I know it can be hard. I know it can be hard because there are many people who have lost themselves in marriages. They've lost themselves in the role of being a husband, being a wife, or lost themselves in the role of being a mother, lost themselves in the role of being a spouse, or being or you lost yourself in your job title, right? You've this on the job, but you're neglecting home. You know what I'm saying? You're doing all of these things and going hard for all of these other things, but not prioritizing the things that you need to prioritize. Be careful not to lose yourself in that, because those a lot of times what we do is we lose the most valuable things to us because we don't prioritize things the right way. And a lot of time we don't prioritize things the right way because we are seeking validation from the wrong place. We're seeking validations from our workplace. We're seeking validations from the job, from other people. And the reality is we should look inwardly to validate ourselves. To validate ourselves. And I'm not saying that external validation is not something that comes from a natural place, because we all naturally, that's what we look for. But what I'm really speaking on is, don't lose yourself trying to fulfill roles, be there for other people, and fulfill roles for other people, just all because you want the external validation of somebody else to champion you. When reality is that's on you, right? You got to work on that. But then also make sure it's very important that you talk to the people that's closest to you, and you're actually being what they need, not just what you want them to have. And I think that's one thing too, that a lot of people get into is, there are a lot of people that are frustrated because they are trying to give somebody. They're frustrated with people because they're trying to give somebody something what they think that they want, instead of just simply taking the time to say, hey, what do you need from me? Right. And they don't want to take that time to, because they really giving from a selfish place, because they get on autopilot. Oh, it's easy for me to just give this way or do it this way because that's what I'm comfortable with. They don't want to take the time to make a small change to change whatever to be there for you, because they're really coming from a selfish place. And I want to operate out of a comfort zone instead of operating out of intention. And that's one thing. Many people want to operate out of a comfort zone, but not operate out of being intentional, and because being intentional sometimes will cause you to be uncomfortable. And you will have to get uncomfortable and just make those small changes just to be consistent what the other person needs from you, who you value. So be careful not to try to operate in comfort, but get to a space to where you are intentional about your actions. And we all should be intentional about our actions. We all should be intentional about the people in our lives. But being intentional does not justify you losing yourself for being there for and fulfilling roles for other people. Because our roles, and like I said before, I said it before earlier in the show, your role don't define who you are, right? That's something that is this profound. But the role that you play in other people's lives, the different roles that you play, the different titles that you have, the different positions that you may hold, the prestige that you may hold, doesn't define who you are. And the problem is, so many people try to get their self-worth out of the roles that they play. And that is a dangerous place to be in, because that will open the door for us to lose ourselves in fulfilling those roles. Because the reality is, the assessment of those roles is very fickle by external people, because it's all based off if somebody feel like they've been favorable, something that's favorable to them or for them. Because people will switch up on you in a minute, and then now you'll be sitting around here depressed while still fulfilling those same roles, all because somebody's opinion of you changed. Not because you were actually fulfilling those roles and those people weren't appreciative. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight, man. Make sure you guys go and follow me on social media at The Conversation 98 on YouTube, The Conversation 98 on Instagram, at 98 Conversation on Twitter, with X, whatever it is right now. The make sure you go to my page on Facebook, the Conversation 98, and at the Conversation _98 on TikTok. Hey man, I really appreciate you guys. Value you guys. Love you guys. And you guys I value you guys more than what you know. Thanks, Von. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. To God be the glory. And you guys have a great and wonderful weekend. Look forward to seeing you all next week. God bless.